Hello and welcome to my channel, The Irish Gypsy Psychic Tarot Reader. That's me, The Irish Gypsy. I'm going to be doing general monthly readings for each of the 12 zodiac signs for the month of November 2015. I will be using the Gilded Tarot deck as I love the vividness of the color and the detail of the imagery in these cards. I'll be pulling 8 cards for the month, 2 cards for each week. These are general readings, so they may not apply the same or resonate as deeply with everyone who watches them. But if you'd be interested in something a little more in-depth, I do love doing personal readings for people. So if you click on the About button on my channel's homepage, it will give you a little more detail on myself, the services I offer, and my contact information. And for those of you who will be watching and listening and subscribing to my channel, your support and feedback are deeply appreciated and most welcome. So thank you for that. So let's begin. This reading is for Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, for the month of November 2015. My lovely Cancerians, my crab, what does the month of November 2015 hold for you? Now, I do shuffle my cards thoroughly before every reading, but I like to go through a last little bit of a shuffle while I'm actually recording with you. Cancer, November 2015. Cancer, November 2015. Okay. For the first week of November, we have the Justice card, followed by the Three of Wands. For the second week, we have the Star card, followed by the Three of Cups. For the third week, we have the King of Pentacles, followed by the Fool card. And for the fourth week, we have the Seven of Pentacles, followed by the Hanging Man. And for the overall theme of the month, or general feeling, I pull a card from the bottom of the deck, and you have the Ace of Pentacles. Now, as I'm sure you know, there's no definitive beginning and ending to the timeline of the cards. This reading represents the month of November 2015, but it could be a situation or a feeling that you have or are dealing with in the month of October and going into the month of December a bit as well. I apologize for any pauses during the reading. It just means that I'm studying the cards to put together the feelings and thoughts and images that I get from them. So Cancer, we begin the month with the Justice card, followed by the Three of Wands. Now, the Justice card is a card that deals with legal matters, typically formal decisions, outcomes, anything to do with the law, with the legal system, something formal. It shows a woman who is blindfolded and holding up the scales of justice evenly, implying that justice, as the saying goes, is blind, meaning that this card indicates that whatever decision or outcome you're waiting for, if you're perhaps involved in a court case or you're waiting for some kind of formal decision to be handed down about something, or maybe you're haggling through some kind of estate division, it shows that this card indicates that whatever decision comes down and whatever the outcome is, it's going to be fair and just and based solely on your decisions and your actions and what you had to do with it. It's in the upright position, which indicates that it will be probably a favorable outcome for you, but that whatever it is, it's going to be fair and balanced. So that's interesting. It's followed by the Three of Wands, the elements of Wands being fire or air, implying movement, although this is more of a waiting card. It shows a man who's standing on the shore with his staff in his hand, two behind him in the ground. He is scanning, staring over the water, watching a ship. Whether it is coming in or departing is unclear at this point. This card's going to mean different things for different people. It's a card of waiting, though. It's a card kind of a gestation time of waiting to see if what you have put into something, what the yield will be, what the outcome will be, which kind of echoes the message of the Justice card as well. You're waiting for something. So this could be a difficult kind of place to be if you're not a person that waits patiently. And the message of this card and the cautionary advice of this card would be that it doesn't really matter whether your emotional state during this waiting period yo-yos up and down or not. Whatever has been needed to put this thing into process is already started. The wheels are turning, and your job right now is to wait, as this man in the card is doing, to see if what you've put into this, or what has been put into this, is going to yield something positive for you. But it is in the upright position, which indicates that it will be. Now, in the second week, we have the Star card, beautiful card, one of my favorite cards in the deck, followed by the Three of Cups, which is another happy card. Now, the Star card is a card primarily of faith. It's of faith and hope, and it speaks of restoration and replenishment and renewal. It shows a woman who is unreservedly pouring her resources, her cups out into the water with perfect faith and confidence that they will be refilled for her time and time again because the source is limited. This card represents being, having perfect faith, being in a place where you know that everything is working above and below in the same way. The star on her forehead correlates with the star in the sky, which indicates a perfect balance and union between heart and mind, between the earthly and the divine, between the tangible and the not tangible. It shows that she has faith and confidence in everything working out well. It's a card of peace as well as what it promises, and the advice of this card is to not lose faith in that promise of peace. I've often seen this card come up in other people's readings after they've experienced something difficult or challenging or painful, because it speaks of peace and hope and faith and restoration, that the wheel is always turning. Things are working out in the manner that they're meant to, and better days are coming. So in the month of November, Cancer, you may have maybe be wrapping up the end of a difficult time, and you've done everything you can do in the situation, and you're waiting to see how it plays out and what you're going to get back out of it. The Star card is accompanied by the Three of Cups, cups being the suit of emotions, love, relationships, creativity. This is a celebration cup. It shows three women dancing in the air, cups being poured out into each other. I've heard this referred to as the party card, although of course the meanings go much deeper than that. But it is a card of celebration and primarily points to taking joy and celebration in the simple things around you, particularly in the company of people that you love and care about. It's about taking time to notice the little things around you, to not forget where they come from, and to celebrate those things. It's a time for to rest and relax, perhaps with your people and your friends and perhaps your family. We are coming up on the holiday time. And I think that the advice of this card is, while you're in this position of perhaps waiting to see what the outcome of this is, whatever decision it is that you're waiting for, that this set of cards for the second week is asking you to have some peace and hope and faith, and to let go and relax a bit and just enjoy in the company of the people around you and the simple pleasures around you that life still has to offer. Now, in the third week, we have the King of Pentacles, followed by the Fool card. Now, when I first saw these, Cancer, I was a little flummoxed by them because the King of Pentacles is a very different person than the Fool card. The King of Pentacles, Pentacles being the suit of earthly tangible things, typically represents money, finances, wealth, resources, assets, property, things of that nature, tangible things that can be seen and felt, our wealth, the kind of life we have. The King of Pentacles is a man who has mastered all of those things. He has worked or been lucky enough to obtain wealth, whatever he needs in his life that makes him feel comfortable and secure and established and independent. He's also a man that looks, in this card he always seems to me to be a little bored with his kingdom. He's not really interested in all of these beautiful things that he has around him that make his life so easy and comfortable. And I'm wondering if, accompanied with the Fool card, Cancer, if you're in a place in your life or in this situation where kings also can be quite controlling people. That's what kings do. They control and influence and organize the practical things in their external world, and the King of Pentacles is a perfect representative of that. And perhaps that's where you are in your life. Perhaps that's a manifestation of you or how you've been in this situation with this decision and outcome that you're waiting for. And the Fool card, being the opposite kind of person, I think is more of an advice card in this, that it's telling you perhaps now it's time to let go of some of those external controlling issues, that you've done what you can in this situation, and now is the time to be the fool, not unwise to say, but the fool is someone who is at the beginning of his journey. He is very much like a child. He's enthusiastic, he's exuberant, he's not really concerned about the length of the road or the destination he's going to. He's at the beginning of the journey. He is taking pleasure and juggling everything around him, and is living life fully in the moment uh, with no regard to the outcome. There's nothing wrong with uh, being wise and planning and controlling what you can, but I think this card, excuse the glare, I think the Fool card is a piece of advice here that while you're in the process of waiting for this outcome of maybe still turning over and over in your head, did I do the right things? Did I invest the right amount of time or money, or did I pull together the right people that I needed to accomplish this? Is this going to turn out in my favor? Am I going to get what I want? I think the Fool is telling you to let go of some of those ways of controlling and organizing, and take joy in the things around you. Again, echoing the message of the Three of Cups. Celebrate the things that you have in your life. Don't forget that you have them. Be grateful for them. They're a gift. Take pleasure in your day, and let go of trying to control this matter, because the advice of the Three of Wands in the beginning week is that you can't. Everything's been done. So take this time to rest, to relax, and to greet each day and live in it as it comes. Now, in the last week of November, we have the Seven of Pentacles, followed by the Hanging Man. Now, the Seven of Pentacles, Pentacles being a card of resources, finance, tangible things. I'm kind of getting the impression that this decision or outcome or situation that you're waiting to see what pans out has something to do with money or property of some kind, maybe the division of property, or maybe just a decision about something that has to do with growing your assets or growing your wealth, or perhaps acquiring a piece of property. That's just sticking in my head. The Seven of Pentacles shows sevens being cards of reflection, of assessment, of looking at motives. It shows a woman who it's harvest time. She's looking at what has grown on the tree. She's assessing. This card indicates that she's assessing whether or not the seeds that she planted have sowed what she thought they would. She's looking at beginning to pull in what has been grown and nurtured, and she is in the frame of mind that she's waiting, she's looking, she's evaluating to see, is this what I wanted? Is this a good payoff for me? Does what I'm getting back reflect what I put into it? And this card is accompanied by the Hanging Man, a card of being at peace with yourself, really. The Seven of Pentacles seems to be echoing, this could play out one of two ways. Either you find yourself at the end of the month still kind of pondering whether everything that you've done towards the situation is going to play out for you in a positive way, or the decision comes down towards the end of the month and you're looking at what you're getting back and wondering, has it been worth it? I'm not sure. This doesn't point exactly to one or the other, and it's going to resonate differently for different people watching this. But Cancer, it looks like that's where you are at the end of the month. Is you're evaluating whether or not this is worth it. Is this going to be worth it? Has this been worth it? Now, it's accompanied by the Hanging Man, which is a card. I always look at it as kind of a self-acceptance card. It shows a man who's hanging upside down in what appears to be a very awkward and maybe uncomfortable position, but he looks to be pretty at peace with where he's at. Um, this is a card that signifies a person who has the kind of wisdom and assurance and rootedness to himself and the world around him that only comes to people who have been through some really difficult and really challenging times in their life, and have come into a place where their priorities are clear. The things that are important to them are really clear, and they are at peace with their decision, even when it seems like to the outside world um, the decision they've made or the way they live their life doesn't fit in with convention, as this man shows. And I think what this card is saying in this reading for you, Cancer, for the month of November 2015, is that whatever happens in this situation and however it plays out, and whatever effort you've invested or the decisions you've made along the road in dealing with this, no matter what other people may think of it, that you're going to end up at the end of the month, or the advice is to try and find yourself in this place of mind where you're at peace with what you've done, whatever decisions you've made, whatever actions you've taken, that you've done what you thought was right and true to yourself and authentic to who you are, and to be at peace with that, no matter what it may look like to other people. Maybe there's people around you that don't approve of the situation you're in, or maybe there's people around you who think that the decision that comes down ought to be different than the one that you want. But at the end of the month and at the end of the day, the advice of the cards is um, to let go of some of the control, of some of the worry perhaps that you're experiencing over this situation, to know that you've done everything that you can. You did what you thought was good and right and true to who you are, and to be at peace with that. And it looks like it's going to be positive for you and fair to everyone involved if there's more than one person involved. Now, the overall theme of the month, I pulled the Ace of Pentacles for you. Um, Pentacles, of course, being a very grounded, rooted earth sign, the element being things of earth, things that are tangible. Um, it can represent new beginnings in these things as well. And the Ace of Pentacles particularly points to being given a gift. Um, it's one of the most straightforward of all the aces, in that it points towards being given a gift of actual, whether it's actual money, resources, time, opportunity, advice, something like that. But this is a tangible gift. This is a gift that you can see. And it looks like whatever this decision or outcome is going to be, it's going to turn out really well for you. It's going to be what you want, and it's going to be a gift. The advice of this card being to see it as such, that just because this deals with perhaps dollars and cents or tangible earthly things, to not forget that it is a gift from the universe, a gift from the divine, to be grateful for it and to utilize it well, and to not to forget that it is a gift. So Cancer, what a lovely reading. It looks like you may from time to time have difficulty sitting patiently and waiting for whatever this. Oh, I just put my hair completely crazy, wild gypsy air. It looks like you're in a place that maybe it might be a little difficult to wait patiently and to gestate, so to speak, while you're waiting for this thing to come to fruition. But the advice is to let go of thinking about it too much, of worrying about it too much. Know that everything's going to turn out as it's meant to, and it's going to be fair. It's going to have a fair outcome. And in the meantime, to take a pause, take a moment to look around at the simple little pleasures that you have in your life, at the things that you've built up, and take time to celebrate that, and to celebrate time spent with family and friends. And at the end of the day, to know that you did everything that you could, you did what was right, you stayed true to yourself, regardless of what opinions came in from the outside. And it looks like the month it looks pretty good for you, Cancer. I don't see any major conflicts in this month, which is lovely to have, especially now that we're coming up on the holiday season. So, Cancer, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope you were able to get something from it. If it didn't resonate with you, you might want to check your other signs, your moon sign, your ascendant sign. If you're interested in something a little more in-depth and personal, again, please click on the About button on my channel's homepage, and it will give you my contact information and some more detail about the services that I offer for personal readings. So Cancer, I hope you enjoy the month of November. It looks to be a lovely one, and I look forward to seeing you in December. I wish you blessings and a happy life. Bye.